Hello everyone, myself Dr. Antarip. Today we are going to start for the remaining portion of class 10 biology, continuing with the last class. Now, what I am doing here is daily 10 minutes of biology will be enough uh, to uh, to study all the things, and I will try to simplify the things present in each and every paragraph of this biology. Now, starting with the nutrition, as I have already told you in the last video that food particles have been broken down and they get absorbed from nutrition. So what happens is that in the first paragraph, let's study. When we walk or ride a bicycle, we're using energy. This energy, as I've already told you, is come from nutrition. Energy is needed to maintain a state of order in our body. We also need materials from the outside in order to grow, develop, synthesize protein and other substances needed for the body. This source of energy and materials is the food we eat. The source of energy from this paragraph, we derive source of energy is the food we eat. From food, it becomes nutrition, and from nutrition, we derive energy. And this energy is required to maintain a state of order. That means various things happening in our in body. Now coming to the next paragraph, how do living things get their food? The general requirement for the energy and material is common in all organisms, but it is fulfilled in different way. Some organisms are simple food material obtained from the inorganic sources in form of carbon dioxide and water. These organisms, the autotrophs, include green plants and some bacteria. Other organisms utilize complex substances. These complex substances have to be broken down into simpler ones before they can be used for uptake and growth of the body. To achieve this, organisms use biocatalysts called enzymes. Thus, the heterotroph survival depends directly or indirectly on autotrophs. Heterotrophic organisms include animals and fungi. This is from this paragraph, various things can be understood. Uh, the very first sentence they have said that basic need is same, that is energy. But to get energy, the path is different. There are organisms have been divided as autotrophs and heterotrophs. Now, breaking down this term, auto means self. That means वो खुद से अपना खाना बना सकता है. They make food for themselves. But these heterotrophs, hetero means different. Hetero means different. So these heterotrophs get energy, get food from different sources. They can be the autotrophs, the plants we eat. Okay, the other organs, other organisms like animals we eat, etc. can be considered in heterotrophs. So what they are saying that food material is in the autotrophs basically come from the inorganic sources. Inorganic sources, what are those inorganic sources? Now those inorganic sources are the carbon dioxide and water. Now the coming to the examples of these autotrophs, Just think what they have mentioned here, the plants and some bacteria. In autotrophs, they consider plants and bacteria. This can be asked as a question also, so you have to remember this. And what about this some bacteria? You have to remember some bacteria. Bacteria are different types. You will get this in class 11. Okay, now for the time being, you just remember green plants and some bacteria are considered to be autotrophs. As I have told you, auto means self, and this is the simplified version of up to this line. Now coming to the heterotrophs, they use complex substances. This they have written here. Utilize complex substances. These complex substances have to be broken down. Like we eat, what do we eat? We eat rice. Rice to be broken down to carbohydrate. To be broken down to carbohydrate, there are some biocatalysts. These are called enzymes. So you have to remember this. The enzymes helps in breaking down of complex food substances into simpler forms so that they get absorbed in our body and we can utilize them as a source of nutrient, and from those nutrient we derive energy. So अब यहाँ तक तो समझ में आ गया होगा. Now, does the heterotroph survival depends directly or indirectly on autotrophs? And heterotrophic organisms include animals and fungi. So you have to remember what are the heterotrophic organisms. These are animals and fungi. So from this paragraph, this can be simplified, and I hope this is clear to all. If any doubt, you can ask me. Now, coming to the next paragraph, that is autotropic nutrition. Now, we have learned about the various types of various mode of nutrition, the autotrophic organisms and heterotrophic organisms. Now, we learn specifically about the autotrophic organisms. Now, what are the autotrophic organisms? Auto. We say this automatic. Automatic means what? It runs on its own. So auto means self. Atmanirbhar, you can say. Now, these autotrophic organisms, they produce their requirements by their own. Now, let's see what is been written in this paragraph. Carbon and energy requirements of the autotrophic organisms are fulfilled by photosynthesis. This is the process by which autotrophs takes in substances from the outside and convert them into stored forms of energy. This material is taken in the form of carbon dioxide and water, which is converted into carbohydrates in presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. Carbohydrates are utilized for providing energy to the plant. We will study how this takes place in the next section, and the carbohydrates which are not used immediately are stored in the form of starch, which serves as the internal energy reserve to be used as and when required by the plant. A somewhat similar situation is seen in us, where some of the energy derived from the food we eat is stored in our body in the form of glycogen. From this paragraph, we can simplify various things. First, let's understand the energy requirement. Carbon and energy requirement of the autotrophic organisms are fulfilled by photosynthesis. Now, photosynthesis. Photosynthesis, if we break down this term, photo means light, and synthesis means to make something. Now, if we add this light and to make something, that means light comes from sunlight. टॉर्च लाइट मारने से नहीं होगा, सनलाइट ही चाहिए। सनलाइट से सनलाइट के हेल्प से कुछ बना रहा है, दैट मीन्स दे आर मेकिंग समथिंग फ्रॉम, दे आर मेकिंग समथिंग विद द हेल्प ऑफ सनलाइट, दैट इज photosynthesis. Now, the definition of photosynthesis is mentioned here. It is the process by which autotrophs takes in substances from the outside and convert them into stored forms of energy. Now, ये है एक पत्ता, not that good looking, sorry. ये है सन, यहाँ से एनर्जी यहाँ पे आएगा और बाहर से भी आएगा, that is carbon dioxide, and they make carbohydrate with the help of sunlight. Now, पानी भी रहेगा, obviously पानी तो रूट से आता है. I will discuss this in a while. Now this carbohydrate they make here, these are two types. One utilize for the energy and the other one is stored. And this stored form is very very important. You remember it is called as starch. You have to remember this, starch. Stored form of carbohydrate in plants is starch. And in this patta, in this leaf, this whole process happens in a structure known as chlorophyll. Chlorophyll. You have to remember this term. Chlorophyll, starch. And one part of the carbohydrate is utilized, one part is stored, the stored part is starch. Clear up to this much? Okay. Now we'll go to the next part. Now coming to the next line, carbohydrates are utilized for providing energy to the plant, as I have already told you. And the carbohydrates which are not utilized immediately are stored in the form of starch, we have discussed already, which serves as the internal energy reserve to used as and when required by the plant. That means this starch, the stored from starch, is the internal energy reserved. Internal energy reserve. What this means? Internal means पेड़ के जो ट्री है ना उसके अंदर ही रहेगा, इंटरनल एनर्जी उसके लिए यूज होगा, लेकिन ये रिजर्व रहेगा, एनर्जी रिजर्व. जैसे हम लोग का आर्मी में होता है ना सीआरपीएफ, रिजर्व फोर्स, ऐसे ही ये लोग भी अपने अपने लिए फूड रिजर्व करते हैं. और when this is utilized is the period when the plant is under stress. Stress means it can be a flood situation, it can be a drought situation. समझ में आ रहा है? जब कोई अननेचुरल होगा कि फ्लड आ गया या फूड नहीं मिल रहा है प्लांट को, ठीक है, तो ये जो स्टोर्ड है इंटरनल एनर्जी रिजर्व जो स्टोर किया हुआ है वो यूटिलाइज करके ये खुद के लिए खाना प्रोड्यूस करेगा, मतलब न्यूट्रिएंट प्रोड्यूस करेगा, एनर्जी प्रोड्यूस करेगा, उस एनर्जी से ये सरवाइव करेगा. ठीक है, up to this point I think it is clear. Now it is about the plants they have said. Now what about the animals? That means animals means the including us the humans. uh, in human the stored form is glycogen. You have to remember this, glycogen is the stored form in human. It is also a carbohydrate. They might ask you this, so you have to remember glycogen and starch. Starch is found in plant and humans or animals, it is called glycogen. Okay, up to this much I think it's clear. So coming to the next page. Oh, here the reaction of the photosynthesis is given. Now let's study first. The reaction is given. We'll simplify this in a while. Let us see what actually happens during the process of photosynthesis. You have to remember these 3 points, okay? ये 3 points बहुत ज़्यादा important है. Now, absorption of light energy by the chlorophyll. First step. Conversion of light energy to the chemical energy and splitting of water molecules into hydrogen and oxygen. Very important line again. Reduction of carbon dioxide to carbohydrate. Oh, here also a picture is beautiful picture is given. We will simplify this picture also. These steps need not to take place one after the other immediately. For example, desert plants takes up carbon dioxide at night and prepare an intermediate which is acts upon by the energy absorbed by the chlorophyll during the day. Let us see how each of the components of the above reaction are necessary for photosynthesis. If you carefully observe the cross section of a leaf under microscope, that is, they have given here, you'll notice that some cells contain green dots. Oh, these are the green dots. These are the green dots they are talking about. These green dots are cell organelles called chloroplasts, which contain chlorophyll. Let us do an activity and demonstrate. You will do the activity. Now, let's simplify up to this much. Okay, too much complexity right now. Simplify this. The reaction is given. As I have already mentioned in the last section, that carbon dioxide plus water, these are taken from outside source. Plant takes carbon dioxide, water is from the roots. Okay, as you have already know, I guess that water is absorbed by the root and carbon dioxide from the environment. Now, this reaction takes place with the help of sunlight. And this reaction takes place in which organelle? It's chlorophyll. We have already discussed in the last section. Now, what it results? A carbohydrate. And that carbohydrate is glucose. A carbohydrate, you just remember simply, carbohydrate is derived. And with the carbohydrate, byproduct of oxygen as a byproduct and water molecules are derived. And this carbohydrate is nothing but our very own glucose. Now balancing this reaction, you will get here 6, 12, 6 and 6. Now, you have to always balance a chemical reaction, okay? Now you see, and balancing you will learn in the oxidation and reduction reaction in your chemistry book. So I am not get into details of balancing a chemical reaction. You will get this in your chemistry book, and your chemistry teacher will definitely make you do all the balancing stuff. Now let's see, in presence of sunlight, here हम लोग का ये पट्टा आ गया, पानी आ रहा था रूट से, वाटर, यहाँ से आया सनलाइट, और जो हम लोग का ट्री था उसने तो कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड ले ही रखा था, तो पानी था, कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड था और सन का लाइट भी था, दैट इज सनलाइट। तो ये तीनों मिला कहाँ पे? पेड़ में जो होता है, मतलब ट्री में जो होता है ये क्लोरोफिल, वहां पे मिलके क्या फॉर्म किया? एक कार्बोहाइड्रेट। और ये कार्बोहाइड्रेट क्या है हम लोग का? ग्लूकोज। ठीक है, और इसके साथ और क्या क्या निकला? इसके साथ ऑक्सीजन निकला और Pani, that is H2O. And you have to balance this as I have already told you. 12. Up to this much is clear. The reaction is simplified, I guess. You have learned the reaction, and it is a very, very important reaction. Whenever in your boards they ask you about photosynthesis, you have to always write this reaction. Now the process, the three processes they have mentioned, let's simplify this. Absorption of light energy by the chlorophyll. Suppose this is the chlorophyll. Absorption of light. Simple. First step is gone. Now conversion of this light energy to the chemical energy by splitting of water molecules into hydrogen and oxygen. This light energy, you know ना, light में क्या रहता है? Photon. This photon, this light energy, okay, light energy. This is the this light energy. This light energy what will do? जो पानी था, कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड के साथ जो पानी था, उसको केमिक जो लाइट एनर्जी है ना, उसको केमिकल एनर्जी में कन्वर्ट करेगा. कैसे करेगा? स्प्लिटिंग ऑफ वाटर मॉलिक्यूल्स इनटू हाइड्रोजन एंड ऑक्सीजन. इसको हाइड्रोजन एंड ऑक्सीजन में कन्वर्ट कर देगा. ठीक है. लाइट एनर्जी ने क्या किया? वाटर मॉलिक्यूल को स्प्लिट कर दिया. तो क्या हो गया? लाइट एनर्जी में था, अभी केमिकल बन गया, केमिकल एनर्जी बन गया. ठीक है. अभी नेक्स्ट स्टेप में क्या होगा? रिडक्शन ऑफ कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड टू कार्बोहाइड्रेट. जो कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड यहाँ पे था, कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड जो यहाँ पे था, उसको कार्बोहाइड्रेट में चेंज कर देगा. डायरेक्ट सेंस नहीं होगा, क्योंकि पहले ही जो था वो था तुम्हारा स्प्लिटिंग ऑफ वाटर, हाइड्रोजन एंड ऑक्सीजन में स्प्लिट कर ही दिया था, उसका भी हेल्प होगा. तो रिडक्शन होगा कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड टू कार्बोहाइड्रेट. सिंपल. You will remember these 3 points and you have to write these 3 points. But one very, very important statement you have to remember is this reaction, these three reactions need not to be occur simultaneously. Okay, it might happen one after another, or after completing the first reaction, the second reaction might take. The time gap can be there. Okay, it is not like simultaneous. They have mentioned in this paragraph. In desert plants take up carbon dioxide at night. जो हम लोग का डिजर्ट में प्लांट्स रहता है, वो कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड रात को लेता है. एंड वन इंटरमीडिएट सब्सटेंस इज प्रिपेयर्ड. अभी कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड लेके कुछ तो बनाना पड़ेगा ना, कि नहीं तो कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड तो वहां पे रह नहीं जाएगा. तो एक इंटरमीडिएट सब्सटेंस बना लेता है विद द हेल्प ऑफ दिस कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड. एंड दिस इंटरमीडिएट सब्सटेंस को नेक्स्ट डे जो एनर्जी एब्जॉर्ब होगा उससे, क्लोरोफिल क्लोरोफिल में एनर्जी जो एब्जॉर्ब होगा उससे ये एनर्जी प्रोड्यूस करेगा. ठीक है, समझ में आया? ये तीनों स्टेप एक साथ होगा ऐसा नेसेसरी नहीं है. ठीक है, ऐसे भी हो सकता है कि पहले दिन कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड लिया, एक इंटरमीडिएट सब्सटेंस बनाया, उसके बाद उस इंटरमीडिएट सब्सटेंस के ऊपर तुम्हारा ये एनर्जी जो है उस इंटरमीडिएट सब्सटेंस से बनेगा. Now let's understand this chloroplast and chlorophyll. Okay, here the green dots, they are saying these are the chloroplast. Oh, in your class 9 biology, you have already got this cross section of leaf, right? Where xylem, phloem, etc. have been mentioned, right? You remember this very good. You will remember this, I guess. And now let's understand this. Chloroplast. Chloroplast is the cell organelle. That means it is present inside a cell. And this chloroplast contains chlorophyll. This chloroplast contains chlorophyll. They are interconnected. This chloroplast contains chlorophyll. And in this chlorophyll, the whole reaction takes place. So from this paragraph, it is said, it's simplified. I guess it's clear to all. Okay, now study up to this much, and let's meet in the next video. Please, if you like it, like, share, and subscribe. I'm not used to it, but I'm saying like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much. Bye bye.